but I had no idea it was like this. I feel like you just don't know until you experience it yourself. What's up, Flourishing Fam? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Flourish with Delores, where flourishing is about progress and not perfection, honey. And in today's video, we are talking second trimester symptoms, like how it's been for me in the second trimester. I just finished a shoot day and I'm feeling dehydrated, so I have this I forget what it's called, but I'll put it on the screen. My mind, there's a symptom right there. I've been super forgetful, I feel like I've always been kind of like ditzy a little bit, but now it's like on 10. But I'm drinking this to kind of rehydrate myself after a long shoot day and not really drinking as much water as I should. So here is a bump update. I will show y'all the bump. It's growing. I'm at 6 months now. I feel like I got my 6-month pop. And I think I have just like 3 more weeks at the time of filming this of second trimester. 2 or 3 more weeks. Let me actually double check for y'all. Yeah, I just have, according to one of my apps, because I'm 26 weeks now as of filming this, and it says next week, can't believe it, I'm gonna be in a 3rd trimester. So I've been trying to get as much done as I have more energy than I had when I was in my 1st trimester, but overall still feeling tired, but physically I'm able to do more than I was able to do when I was in my 1st trimester. So that's definitely been a bonus. So I've been using the period tracker app. I have 2 apps. I have the period tracker app, and that helps because I already had it to track periods before I was pregnant. But then I'm also using the I'm just gonna put the apps on the screen. I'm also using the What to Expect app. So they both, I feel like, give me slightly different things, but I love what both of them provide me, if that makes sense. So they're slightly different. A lot of the information is the same between the apps, but in the period tracker app, I like how I'm able to have like a little diary. In the What to Expect app, there's like a community where people ask questions. I don't read into it too much because sometimes it could be a little triggering depending on what they're talking about. But those are the 2 apps I've been using to track my pregnancy, track the symptoms, also learn tips that they're suggesting. So that's been great. Okay, so let's get into the symptoms I've been feeling. As you guys know, if you watched my last one, if you didn't yet, definitely check out my 1st trimester experience if you're interested. But I go through my calendar and I just read the notes that I wrote as I was experiencing the 2nd trimester. That way I can share with you guys what I was experiencing in real time. And thank you for the lovely comments that you guys shared with just appreciating me being so open and honest about my journey. I really appreciate that feedback. So October 29th, I started week 15. So we're gonna be basically talking about week 15 through week 26, which is today. So on November 1st, I was 15 weeks, 3 days, and I wrote that I was feeling getting insomnia and anxiety. So in my 1st trimester, I was so tired. I was like knocking out and pretty much sleeping through the night. In my 2nd trimester, I think the more my body started growing, I would wake up in the middle of the night and just have insomnia and then have anxiety. At 17 weeks, I was in the safe zone, but still a little afraid because I would hear, you know, crazy things about people having tragic losses after the safe zone. So I was feeling a little bit of anxiety about that. But God is so good. We're still good and healthy. So I'm super, super grateful. But that's what I wrote that I was feeling. And then 2 weeks later, when I was 17 weeks, I documented that I was having random leg cramps, but more energy to get little tasks done, but not at 100%. Like I would get energy for like a good 30 minutes to be able to do something, and then I would be really tired after that. But those bursts of energy was so much better than the lack of energy and the nausea I was feeling in the 1st trimester. So I was definitely grateful for that. The random leg cramps, I remember reading something about why that was happening. I can't remember. I think sometimes it would be, let's say, because I'm only really able to sleep on one side, or not one side, but I'm only able to sleep on my side. So I like flip over through the night. But for the most part, I'm just on one side for a while, where if you weren't pregnant, naturally as you're sleeping, you just freely roll over. So I think that was the cause of it, as well as probably it being triggered by some round ligament pain as my body is growing. I can't remember too much about why that, you know, what research says that was happening. But that's what I was getting. Then I documented 2 weeks later at 19 weeks. I put that I was feeling very emotional, especially when I think about Sweet Pea. And I said, I'm so grateful for my little family and I'm gaining more energy to do more. So I think I just started feeling even more connected to our baby, just feeling so grateful. So I love that I actually documented that, how emotional and grateful I was feeling as I would think about that. So that's what was happening week 19. And then at week 20, y'all, my skin, even now, like I'm so itchy all the time. Like I literally keep lotion right by my bed, because since my skin is stretching and growing, and then also I think there's like hormones going through my body to help my body like expand, it causes itchiness. And it's also winter, so my skin is just probably naturally just dry, but like literally every 1 to 2 hours, like I need to lotion my body because I'm just so itchy. So then TMI, I put that the cold gives me bad, I don't know if I could say this word on YouTube, but like, you know, in the chest area, the area of your chest, I was just getting pain whenever I was out in the cold. And actually that still happens to me. And when you're out in the cold, naturally that part of your body erects, whether you're pregnant or not. But I think now that I'm pregnant and there's extra nerves and stuff like zapping through there, it erects, but then it would just hurt so badly. There was a time where I was driving home from work, and just the walk from my car, from the office to my car, I was like freezing cold, and then it erected, and it was just in so much pain. And while I was trying to drive home, waiting for it to warm up, I just started to like cry because I was just in so much pain. I felt like I needed to pull over and feel better. So what I started doing when I knew it was going to be a really cold day was like stuffing socks. I would like fold a pair of socks that were like warmer and like put them right in my bra, just to make sure I had some extra padding so they wouldn't get super cold. So that was like a really weird symptom that I didn't know that happened. But I talked to a few of my friends who are pregnant or were pregnant, and some of them said that they felt the same way, or they had like wrist pain when it was cold. I haven't experienced that, but between the itchiness and having to like rub oil or lotion on me, I keep lotion at work, I keep lotion in my car, because when I'm sitting and my body is just stretching and getting dry, like it's just so uncomfortable to sit, like I need to just lotion, because I'm like and it's the itchiness is like around my legs, my bottom, my stomach, my sides, my back, and it just has to be lotion. So at 20 weeks is when I finally hit my pre-pregnancy weight, y'all. That's how much weight I lost when I got pregnant. So between the first week and 20 weeks, so that's literally month 1 through 5, I was weighing in less than I was before I was pregnant, which was a little scary to me, because the lowest weight that I hit when I got pregnant was the lowest I've been like since like college, high school. And when you're pregnant, you're supposed to be gaining weight. So I was just so nervous about that, because it wasn't like I was vomiting during my first trimester. Of course, I had food aversion, so it's probably because I wasn't eating as much and more energy was being expensed. But that was pretty creepy. So at 20 weeks is when I finally hit my pre-pregnancy weight. So still haven't gained weight, but just back to how much I used to weigh. I also wrote, this is actually a long journal that day, but I wrote that I'm loving food again, and I love orange juice with the pulp. Oh my God, y'all, like that. I haven't had cravings where it's like the same thing that I need every day, but I would go through like stints of like, this week is like, I just need orange juice with the pulp, or today, like if I get taste for like oxtails and rice and peas. Like, I need that. I had a day like that where I was like, I had to leave work early. I'm like, I need this right now. And I just sat in my car outside the Jamaican restaurant and just enjoyed some like oxtails and rice and peas, and I was in my happy place, y'all. So my cravings are like that, but there's nothing consistent where it's like the majority of the pregnancy I have to have this certain food. Orange juice was probably the one that lasted the longest, from like week 17 through maybe as of recently. But I haven't been so crazy about orange juice with the pulp lately, because now the heartburn and the acid reflux is starting to kick in for me, and I know orange juice is triggering it, so I've been kind of staying away from that a little bit more. But y'all, I remember one time I asked Charles to get me orange juice, and I told him with the pulp, but he came home without the pulp. And I was so sad because, I don't know, something about the pulp, it just feels like you're biting into an orange, and it was just one of those things that just made me happy. And I don't know, maybe I'll write it, and I wrote it in like a future note on here, but I've been waking up at like 3, 4, or 5, or sometimes 6 in the morning, and a lot of times I can't sleep until I go downstairs and have a bagel, or a half a bagel, or a muffin with my orange juice. I feel comforted, and then I'm able to fall back asleep. But it just reminds me of a baby who like in the middle of the night needs like they're feeding, and then now they're comfortable to go back to sleep. So I don't know, I feel like you kind of turn into a baby. So that's been interesting. I had to take a break to eat something because Mama's hungry. Now the only time I feel nauseous is if I haven't eaten in a while, which makes sense. But okay, so on that same 20-week note, I journaled, which I want to read it, that sleeping laying down is so uncomfortable. I'm patiently waiting for my U-shaped pregnancy pillow to come in next week. So first I had, and I'll pop in the picture, I had a smaller pregnancy pillow, just helped prevent me from laying on my back. But then that just wasn't comfortable for me anymore, and now I'm gonna pop that right here. I have the best pregnancy pillow ever, y'all. Like, it really helps my back. It just feels so comforting. I sleep like a baby with it. But yeah, I was patiently waiting for that to come in. So I put the smaller one isn't cutting it anymore. And then I put, I cried thinking about how much I love sweet pea, or about the scary thoughts / pressure of carrying to full term. It's a lot. And I put, I don't think that anyone understands being pregnant unless they've been pregnant. And even with that, everyone's experience is so different. I sit back and think, wow, so this is what my mom friends or family went through. And so yeah, like, I'm an empath, and I have friends who have children, and of course when they would tell me like their symptoms and all that, I'd feel really bad. I'd be praying for them, I'd be encouraging them, but I had no idea it was like this. I feel like you just don't know until you experience it yourself. You may hear about it or whatever, but it's just so different, like, experiencing it. So that was the note for 20 weeks. At 21 weeks, I put, I'm excited for baby girl. I can't wait to meet her. So I'm still just feeling like really excited and connected to our daughter. And I put that I'm 5.5 months now. Every day has been different, but overall I'm tired. I said I'm happy that I'm not in a constant state of nausea like I was during the first trimester. If things would have stayed like the first trimester, I probably would have been one and done. And I said, now I feel like I could do this one more time. And then let's see, my next note, January 8th, now I'm 25 weeks, so that's basically still 5.5 months. So January 8th, I'm 25 weeks now, and I wrote that I have a lot of acid reflux. I have a little bit more energy to get stuff done, but I'm also wanting to nest and be home and set up for baby. So although I had a little bit more energy, I didn't really want to use that energy so much with work, but more so with getting baby's room ready, because I just know that once I get to deeper into the third trimester, I may start to lose that energy, only because I'm just heavier and less comfortable. I also wrote a couple days later, I'm just loving ice cold water. I've loved ice cold water since I've been pregnant. It just does something to me. It just feels so refreshing. I don't know if it's because my body's like overheating, like, because it's literally a machine right now making a baby. But I put that I love ice cold water. And I said orange juice is starting not to hit the same because of the acid reflux, and I'm also experiencing joint and muscle pain. Like my back aches a lot. My bones will just randomly crack, like my hips and stuff, and it's all because it's expanding, getting ready for birth and all of that. But that's been pretty challenging for me, especially because, you know, work. If you're new to my channel, I'm a dean of student success, so I'm constantly moving back and forth between meetings, and it's just getting a little bit more exhausting to like walk around and be up and down and be a busybody like I used to. So that's taking a little bit of a toll. And although overall I'm carrying small, I think because I'm small, it still feels heavy on me, if that makes sense. And so the next day I wrote, I said I have moments where I just feel so heavy, and the round ligament pain and the back pain and the hip pain and just pain in general. So that was at 25 weeks and 5 days, which was basically 2 days ago. So that's basically been my second trimester experience, y'all. I'm about to enter into the third, which is like wild to me. And I hope y'all are enjoying this. I can't wait to share more with you. Let's take another look at Sweet Pea. We're growing, we're growing. Let me know if you like more videos like this, and I will continue to document our pregnancy journey, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.